Change my money, things I do for my family, and on and on. I can't go without my blessings, cause blessings show. Been chasing gains, my money, things I do for my family.
Now,
and on
let's go
and
on to the next topic. Next topic we have here is, are we neglecting our own growth the more we choose to suppress our feelings and say that we're okay?
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yep.
For sure.
Let's talk on that.
I think it's so many things you could bring up when you talk about like neglecting our growth. I think I don't know, my thoughts are sort of all over the place because of, that same fact. But I think when we think about our growth, we kind of only think about the good parts, right? We think about the only successes that we have, and we think the success that we experience is the only thing that can contribute to our growth. But I think a lot of people are not realizing, and it's kind of like what's the word? A philosophy I live by. Like when there's the ups, there has to be downs. And when you do hit rock bottom, the only other way is up. So you kind of have to experience that equilibrium for you to even propel further. But the thing is, it's hard and it's messy, but no one wants to experience the grunt work of, of hurt and sadness, of grief, of depression, of whatever other synonyms to, rhyme with hurt and stuff. But I think it's tough because a lot of people also don't really appreciate the feeling that it has on them. I know some people, when they experience anger, it's a physical type of thing. Like their head starts hurting. They start crying, profusely. They start cursing people out, this and that. So even something like anger is not only a mental thing, but it's a physical thing. So there's some people who are like, I never want to be angry in my life. I don't want to express that emotion, but that's an emotion you sort of have to express other than happiness. Feel me? There is no sun without rain. And I feel like people are forgetting that. But that's the thing. That's because of this whole mental health crisis. We kind of just want to only see good days because there's been so many bad days. People don't want to go to no more bad days. People want to be able to wake up, the sun is shining, feel good, feel great, and not have to deal with, something at the end of the day, going back home, domestic abuse, going to your relationship abuse, your friend is, this and that. No one wants to experience that. So, yeah.
I like that you said that because I think that's 100% true. You could have all the success in the world, but if you have a lot of baggage and you have a lot of things that you're repressing, like I said before, it's going to manifest in other areas. People are afraid to do the work and dig up that past, especially from childhood. But I feel like that's important for your growth. That's important to be successful as well. Having those conversations, like I said, however you want to do it, therapy, talking to a friend, whatever. But I feel like that work is important to do.
To touch up on the whole childhood thing, I feel like for me, I felt like I was limiting myself in a way because I didn't want to heal from my childhood trauma. And that comes up when you're an adult. And it comes up in your relationships as well, your romantic ones too. So if you can't just go and look within yourself and figure out what's going on with you, what's triggering you and everything, then it's going to repeat itself over and over again until you get it right.
Mm-hmm. And you do yourself a disservice when you say, oh, well, that's just how I am.
Yo,
No, that's not.
No. Let's talk about that.
That's not healthy.
No.
But it's also knowing that, I feel like when you grow up a certain way, you learn certain things. You think that's what it is. You think that's normal.
It's conditioning.
It's conditioned up until you get into real life shit. I can curse on here, right? And then you get real life shit, and then you're like, oh, no, this is not how it is. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. I think what we have to realize is that because we're growing up, right? I just think we're children in just these adultified bodies. We honestly got a lot of unpacking to do because it does manifest in other places. And the thing is, not only are we learning, but we got to understand we're relearning and unlearning. The amount of stuff I had to unlearn just to relearn new things, it's tough. I'm in my 20s, so I kind of already know that's exactly what I'm going to experience for the rest of my 20s, if not the rest of my life. But sort of learning where certain traits of mine come from my parents. It comes from when I was a child in the crib, the non-confrontational, the this and that. It came from being in a certain household, and now it's showing up with my friends, feel me? Now it's showing up the way I interact with these other people. So it's a lot to unpack. It definitely is, but
And your body like internalizes that. Like
Yeah.
when you're used to trauma and your body like literally craves that, and then
Yeah.
unconsciously you don't even realize that
real.
you're putting yourself in certain situations because of that.
Now, I agree with everything you guys just said. Now, it's just, I don't think I could put it, in better words, but I do feel like the more that we do say that, you know what, we're okay, we don't give ourselves, just like what Elizabeth was saying, we don't give ourselves the time to actually be okay. It's like when you start telling yourself you're fit so you don't go out and actually, become fit. No, I'm fine, bro. I'm good. Like, okay. All right.
Yeah, but you
All
lash
right.
out at everybody.
Yeah,
You know what I
You're
mean?
not
Like,
good.
yeah, like you're not okay. And
We be trying to rush
Mm.
the
That's a
feeling
good-
of
yeah.
not being okay. Like
Mhm.
we get so caught up in just trying to be good. Once we are not good, we try to
Yeah.
get past it quickly and that internalizes in yourself,
Yeah.
and that starts becoming anger, resentful, all this stuff, and it
Yeah.
starts presenting and other stuff. It's just like what y'all said, manifesting and all that,
Rather than feeling the feelings.
rather than feeling
See.
it and being present with it
Yeah.
and overcoming it.
if let's really talk about this, right? We're living right now in a time to where there are a good percentage of people who are unpacking the layers that have been densely packed on themselves due to being raised and trauma and conditioning. But then there are a lot of people who are, I don't want to say too new because then I don't know people's past to say that, but they're just like, hey, I just stayed in bed for 3 hours. You know what? I'm depressed.
Yeah.
Self-aware. Mhm.
No, but they're not. It's we're in a culture to where everybody's like, waking up or trying to be, trying to self-actualize to where it's like, if you're vocal about it, your friend who's really not, like, you ever met somebody who's really not really going through it, but they're talking like, yo, like, I think I'm depressed. No, I think you're bored. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
it's almost like it's become a culture now. It's cool.
And, that's an interesting conversation because I do think I've seen that. Like, it's weird because I don't want to say that it's becoming a trend, but I could see how it is sort of becoming one where it's kind of
Yes.
like not doing this, being lazy, not wanting to get up and be productive and stuff like that. I think people are just sort of like mixing up different terms.
Yes.
And they're sort of
Yes.
almost like fantasizing this whole depressive thing, especially, I don't know, especially being on TikTok. When you cultivate your feed to a certain type of feed, right? You're liking all these, self-actualization videos, these hope core and like depression core and like all these different type of core talks, whatever. It's like because it's so repetitive, it keeps you in that mental state. So like, how can you actually sort of like see that light in your life if you're constantly seeing these like dark, gloomy lit videos? The music you're listening to, it's about like, taking these pills to numb the pain, and it's like this and that. Like, it's because what you're surrounding yourself with. Like, you're probably not actually depressed, or maybe you are, but maybe some of it is being emphasized because of your environmental factors. Like music, I had to really pay attention to because Lil Durk, that's my guy. But I don't know. The whole like, like you're sipping lean because it hurts and this and that. I'm like, dang, it's not that bad for me. Like, it's actually not. I don't know. Yeah.
I agree. Your surroundings definitely
Yeah.
contribute to your mental health in general. Like, if you're hanging around a bunch of people who's negative and self-loathing and
Yeah,
all
like-
that, you're gonna naturally just experience that. Vice versa, if you are around people who are grinders or whatever, always
Yep.
working,
Hustle
then
culture.
hustle culture,
Hustle
which
culture.
is a different topic.
That's a different topic. But we,
you're gonna
Nah,
immerse
but
yourself into
that's
that
a
too.
part of it, you
Yeah.
know? Like, I feel like hustle culture ties into, us saying that we're okay because, like, we got work tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think
don't get me started.
the entirety of the last, 7 years of my life, 8 years of my life, have I owe it to hustle culture. Because I have not only just swallowed it, I'm not gonna lie, it's helped. Like, I would be lying if I said hustle culture didn't help me. It has helped me in a way to where I don't internalize the problems that I'm going through, and I don't have it affect my development and where I'm going, my trajectory. But it has hindered me because now I'm a bro at my big age. How do I not know how to process my emotions?
This
At
all
my big age,
And
like
you gotta give yourself grace with that though, because not everyone's gonna know how to process their emotions. Like it's honestly a learning experience, and it's not easy. That's why I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't really blame other people for not knowing, even though at one point you kind of got to take responsibility for your own actions. But what you said earlier, we're new to this. Like some of us are just realizing, oh shoot, I think I'm depressed. Like I think something's actually wrong. Feel me? So they never had that time to really be able to sit there and be like, you know what, I'm angry. I didn't mean to lash out on you, but you know, this is how I'm feeling. You know, not a lot of people know these steps. Like they don't have the resources too. If you're Black, POC, you don't have these resources to teach you.
100%.
It's simple as that. Yeah.
I feel like for me, this all revolves around like living off of survival mode as well.
Yeah.
Because you get so caught up in trying to do this and that, and you don't even have time to even like recollect yourself and get to know yourself.
Hustle culture. I feel like
culture, yeah.
hustle culture has
Seems like
helped
it's a
me
blessing.
and hurt me.
Yeah.
Helped me in terms of like, yeah, my business has grown, right? But I was also really depressed because it wasn't moving how I wanted it to move. It wasn't as fast as I wanted. You know what I mean?
Yo,
Going back to like social media, comparing yourself, you seeing the same people doing what you're doing, the exact same thing, but they're growing faster than you. So then you're like,
Yeah,
what
it got
the
you
heck
like-
am I
yeah,
doing
like-
wrong?
Or
You know what I
sometimes
mean? So
you-
then
you
you're
think
so
you could be
focused
better
on
than
that, right?
Yeah.
Or you are better than that. You know what I mean? Not so, like you gotta gas yourself up
Yeah,
sometimes,
no,
right?
for sure.
yo.
So then now you're so focused on getting to that point, like you forget to enjoy your life. Like,
Enjoy the process.
enjoy the process and enjoy
you.
your life. Like I
Yeah.
remember like I had a phase where I wanted to do like content creation, but I was so indulged into that. I wasn't enjoying the things that
actual-
I normally
yeah,
enjoy.
yeah.
So yeah, I was depressed. So I'm like, dang, I'm really working hard. I'm busting my ass. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
doing everything I'm supposed to do, but nothing's working out. So I really had
Yeah.
to learn to like balance that. Like still hustle, but also still be able to go on vacations, have time with my friends, you know what I mean? And just do the things that I really like to do.
Yeah.
I feel like hustle culture has killed me in the sense of I don't know who I am outside of hustling. I think I've been consumed with making money and trying to really make it in life. I promise you, I don't know who I am, you know? And when I say that, I mean, when people say, hey, Jeremy, your birthday coming up, what you doing? I literally
Nothing.
tell them, I
Making
don't
money.
celebrate my birthday. You know what I mean? They say, why? I said, I don't see nothing worth celebrating.
That's kind of
That hurt.
sad.
But no. But it'd be like that. But that's real though. Like I'm being honest with y'all. I'm being honest with y'all. Like when my birthday come around, I think about my last birthday and I'm like, yo, bro, if I didn't make it last year and I didn't make it this year, why in the world am I celebrating right now? So I literally have never been able to be like, yo, you know what? This is something that I like to do because what do I like to do? I like to work.
Yeah. And the fact that the fact that hustle culture has
Because
It's
you can't
be-
even appreciate. I feel like you can't even appreciate the small things.
Yeah.
right? The
Yeah,
small things
you're
that
so
have happened
hard
to
on
you.
yourself
How do
that
you-
you
how
can't
do I
even
like to work?
appreciate
I
that.
didn't even want to
can't.
go to my own
And I
graduation.
feel like I feel like if you can't
man.
appreciate just the little things in life, like how are you going to appreciate the big things?
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, your birthday may seem small to you, right? But think about how many people don't get to celebrate their birthday.
Which is what I'm
Because maybe
realizing
they're
now.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yes.
They don't have family or friends. You know
Yes.
what I mean? So
That's what I'm
like,
realizing
I don't know.
now.
Birthdays are big for me. Like I try to celebrate
your
my
birthday?
birthday January 21st.
Oh, nice.
I usually go away every year.
Aquarius
Like,
moon.
you know what I
Without me.
mean? Like, I really try to,
Without me.
even if it's something small, I always try to do something for my birthday
Yeah.
because,
Without me.
You're working,
oh,
remember?
relax.
Yeah, you gotta get it. But what I was gonna say to that though, I think it's interesting how you point out how, because not only you, I've seen it in a lot of people where hustle culture has become their personality, right? And of course, it's due to things like survival mode. Like we had to make it out the hood. We got to make it out for ourselves because no one's gonna really do it for us. And the issue there is that we don't know ourselves because of that, right? And something I've experienced that I had to notice I've been experienced is just like, I don't know, in college, right? I was involved in many orgs, you know, shout out BSU, Black Student Union. My last year, I was president. And, you know, while it was a great position and I enjoyed my time, I realized how every year I was in that org, as well as doing other things, right? For my community, for my friends, like I grew tired, right? And what you said about your body feels it, I noticed it when one day, like, I'm trying to get up and my body is like, nah, like we just cannot get up today. And it's because of the hard work, like that I've been pushing into myself. Like late nights and early mornings is the worst thing to ever happen to someone. And I realized that is because I'm always on go, right? The whole like fast-paced lifestyle, I get it. A lot of people love when they feel productive, but I think that's also a result of that hustle culture mindset where it's kind of like you feel like you got things going for you because, you know, you getting your to-do list crossed off, you making these meetings, you on Zoom, you doing your thing, then at the end of the day, all you doing is just sitting down, making sure you eat. Some people don't even got time to eat because of that whole like on-go lifestyle. So when the summer came around, because I just graduated in May, I realized like, yo, I thought I liked it. Like I thought I liked being busy and getting things done when I was busy. But that was just what I had to do because those were my responsibilities. But I realized that I need to take it slow. Not only just for me, I don't want to start ranting, but as humans, I do think, right, capitalism makes us feel like we kind of constantly got to be moving and that we never should slow down. But once you realize, like, nah, you got to slow down the pace, your body will thank you. Like, your mind and body will thank you. Because even for work now, you know, working in retail, worst decision. But anyway, working in that, right, I realized getting ready for work, I'm no longer rushing. Like, it takes, people be like, yo, why it take you 2 hours to get ready? Because I'm not rushing anymore. Not for no white man, not for no, I'm not even going to say where I work at. But, I'm just not going to rush because that's the least I could do, right? Because clearly I'm going to have to work laborious work, this and that. But putting on my makeup, taking my shower, putting on my lotion, I'm gonna slow down. I'm not rushing for nobody because I think we all deserve that. And I think that's the smallest thing. Like, things like that are the smallest things you could do for your mental health. Feel me? Like, we shouldn't feel like we gotta constantly, feel me? And it's not even for ourselves. We're doing it just to put money in our pockets to then do this, do that. But is it even really helping our mental, feel me? It's just helping our financial situation. That's really it.
I had to learn how to give myself grace during my whole process of being an artist, entrepreneur, because I got so caught up in being a perfectionist that it took me a while to realize, like, yo, I'm that girl. Like, I can paint. Like,
Feel me?
I can do whatever they doing or whatever, but I just gotta go at my own pace and not try to, you know, just go stack everything.
Shout out Jam
once.
Portraits.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out Jam.
Commission's open.
And I
right?
feel like too, as long as you're working towards your goal, everything you want is gonna happen.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
why
I know,
give
like-
yourself grace.
Cause I know, like when I started becoming a makeup artist, like I made a list of the things I wanted to do.
That's
right?
good.
And I wasn't in a rush to do it. I was just like, as long as I keep working on my craft, I build my portfolio, and whatever time, like, it's gonna happen. And I worked through that list. Like, I was able to
All right.
do fashion week, have my own business. So it's like, it's not a rush. It's not a rush. It's gonna happen. Just keep working at it,
Exactly.
and it'll happen.
Now let's really talk about it though. Unfortunately, working and a hustle culture is what allows us to have what we want in life. Like, this whole setup wouldn't have happened if I wasn't working 100-hour weeks sometimes. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes
I
I
don't
feel
think
like
that's
there's a
true.
sacrifice.
And
There's a
I
sacrifice.
think
that
it
has
would
to
have
be
happened
made.
either way. It may not have what happened like as fast as you wanted
that's
to.
what it is.
But it would have happened.
And that's the thing, though, because even what you said when you thought, you know, you wanted to be better and, you know, you wanted things to grow at a fast pace, that's exactly what I think plagues our mind, right? Because of social media, because of Instagram, this and that, we're seeing other people or even our own friends, you know, back home are like, yeah, you know, I just got this big job. Boom, it took me only like 2 weeks. You know, I knew a person, and it's like, dang, like I ain't meet no one yet. You know, networking's not working out for me. Like, feel me? It's because we're like, when they say comparison is the thief of joy, that's exactly what it is. Because in our age, we're comparing ourselves to these self-made billionaires. Their parents were wealthy. They were not self-made. You know, people had it going out for them. One, your identity matters, right? Because I strongly believe us as POCs, right? It's not easy. We can't get things as quickly right up the social ladder, which is why we have to work just as hard. And that's the thing that plagues us. We feel like there is that rush to get there. Like, I want to grow this business. I want to grow this podcast. I want to grow my boom, boom, boom ASAP because I'm trying to make it out. But it's like, in reality, I think what is the rush, but I think society makes us feel like there is this constant rush to get things done. I think everything always falls down to hustle culture and capitalism. Yeah. Like, that's the thing that's rooted in our society that got us always on our feet standing. Like, my knees hurt. Like, I gotta sit down, take a break. And I do agree with Alicia. I think things like that, it'll come, especially if you want it, but not a lot of people are willing to wait. Like, the patience is a big thing. Like
And
that's
I
a
feel
big
like
thing.
when you rush, that's when mistakes happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
learning. You're not learning the
Yeah.
problem. Like I remember I was watching a show or whatever. This girl, she wanted to start a company, right? Long story short, she dropped out of college to start the company, right? It was like for a biomedical company or whatever. But she had no experience in doctor or whatever, right?
Right.
So she
Yeah.
really didn't really know what
No
she was doing.
experience in
doctor
She
is
spoke
crazy.
to a doctor as a consultant about her idea, and the doctor was like, "Yo, why don't you finish school, learn what you need to learn,
Exactly.
get all the information so that when you do start this company, you could do it correctly, right?" Didn't listen to the doctor. Started a company anyway, fast tracked everything. Now she's in jail for fraud.
Elizabeth Holmes.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
Elizabeth
that-
Holmes.
Where is that show?
Yeah.
It's on Hulu.
It's on
Elizabeth Holmes.
Hulu.
What in the world?
Right,
Like,
what-
I did not
No,
expect
this is
that.
recent.
What?
It's recent.
Yes.
It's,
I did
Yeah.
not expect that at all.
Yeah.
You know, this is recent. Elizabeth Holmes with
I hope I don't go.
I
with
forgot
the
the
name
name
of
of it.
I know the book was Bad Blood. She started Theranos. She started a company
Yeah.
called Theranos, where she was trying to. She was really in over her head. She thought like with one prick of blood she can sit here and diagnose 1,000 diseases.
Which,
you know,
which I'm not gonna knock her. The idea was good, right? But she didn't have the knowledge to be
Yeah.
able to do that.
She
So
got
she
it
felt
real
like
far,
she
though.
had. She did, but she had to cut corners to do
Knowledge
it. You know
is
what I
power.
mean?
She ended
If
up in
she just
jail.
stayed, if she
That's
just
what I'm
got,
getting.
Yeah.
if she just got the education, even if it wasn't from school, you know what I mean? 'Cause you can learn in
You-
all types of
books.
ways.
Yeah.
If she took the time to get the education to really, finesse her shit, like she would not be.
but she
That's a fact.
she did finesse it though.
She did.
Listen, and coming from a
She
time,
finessed it.
when was this? 2014, 15, when she started it out, when she had first left college. I'm not gonna lie to you, especially at a time to where, big pharma is run by majority men, and at first people weren't taking it serious. The fact that she was able to really kick her foot through the door and,
gave her
and get contracts with CVS,
All this money.
Walgreens. She was even able to almost get a contract with the military to have her machines there.
This is based on a
Don't-
true story?
This is a
Yeah.
true. She
Oh,
just
wow.
they just sentenced
But
her
now-
like 2 years ago.
What
But now, was it
else?
really worth it? Because
They
she had
just
to pay
changed
all
it.
that
What
money
is it
back.
called again? Too?
Wow, what is it called?
It's on Hulu. I forgot the name. Google it real quick.
Oh yeah, I got you.
But was it really worth it? Because she had to pay all that money back, and now
Yikes.
she's in jail for like how many years? 17 years.
She didn't. She filed for bankruptcy before the case opened.
Oh, so she didn't have to pay the money. I read
Nah,
that she
no
paid the money
way.
back.
Oh wow!
But the point you mentioned still stands. So I don't know. Man. I think mental health is it's a little bit too
It's called The Dropout.
the dropout.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
dropout.
The
On
Dropout.
Hulu?
That show
Right
is.
now.
It's honestly when it comes to hustle culture, I feel like if hustle culture is if it's treated the right way, it can be something that's good. But because we latch onto it like a baby, it's like we turn it into something that's bad. Because think about this, right? It's our lack of awareness. The moment you latch onto something, you latch onto it, right? How are you able to see what's affecting you behind you? Or even to your side? You're latched onto it so much. It's
that's
money.
true.
It's money. You are latched and you can't even see like there's problems behind me. And hustle culture, it's I don't even want to say it's a sensitive topic, but it leads to a lot of insensitivity. And even though, yes, it is sensitive to people, but it leads to a lot of insensitivity, which is kind of crazy to me because we are so goal driven, right? That we're like, yo, I need to get to it. Tomorrow I got work. I gotta work. I gotta get the money. I gotta pay my bills. I gotta do everything. But people are being affected with a lot of things going on in the world and a lot of things going on around us. And let's even take it a step further. There's people who are so bent or just goal driven to where they neglect their own families. You know what I mean? And it's like we are so unaware. It's a real lack of awareness with it compared to if we understood hustle culture and we understood the good parts about it. Maybe we can take that with our awareness and help other people with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing or a good thing. It's a real tough topic because society doesn't make it easy either. You know what I mean? Like if you're a single mom making $725, living in New York, like at that point you have to kind of have hustle culture, to survive. So it's really like it's really a sticky subject.
Been chasing dreams, my money, things I do for my family, and on I can't go.